Hey, welcome back. Today we're diving deep into something that affects all of us. You know that gut feeling when someone's playing mind games with you? That's exactly what we're talking about. 7 dangerous tactics evil people use when they realize you've caught onto their game. And trust me, by the end of this video, you'll be bulletproof against these manipulation tactics. Quick heads up on what you're about to learn. We'll uncover the dirty tricks manipulators use, how to spot them instantly, and most importantly, how to shield yourself using ancient Stoic wisdom. Stick around, because number 5 is something that happened to Marcus Aurelius himself, and his response, absolutely legendary. Number 1. They turn your friends against you. Look around the room right now. These manipulators are working overtime to poison your relationships. When they know you've spotted their true nature, they launch a full-scale smear campaign. They start with subtle hints to your friends, dropping little bombs like, "I'm worried about their behavior lately," or "Have you noticed something off?" It's a slow burn strategy, and that's what makes it so effective. The worst part? They're experts at making it look like they're coming from a place of concern. They'll even defend you sometimes, just to appear more credible when they criticize you later. These people understand social dynamics perfectly. They know that humans are tribal creatures, and isolation makes us vulnerable. By targeting your support system, they're not just hurting your relationships, they're trying to break your spirit. The Stoic response? Focus on what you can control. As Epictetus said, we cannot choose our external circumstances, but we can always choose how we respond to them. Remember, your true friends will see through the smokescreen. The manipulator's tactics actually help filter out fake friends from real ones. Strong relationships are built on truth, not gossip. When someone tries to turn others against you, they're showing their own weakness, not yours. Document everything. Stay calm. Let your actions speak louder than their words. The truth has a funny way of rising to the surface. Number 2, they play the victim card. When cornered, these manipulators transform into professional victims faster than you can blink. It's their go-to defense mechanism when exposed. Suddenly, you're not dealing with their bad behavior anymore. You're the bully who's attacking them. They'll cry, they'll shake, they'll make a scene. All calculated moves from their playbook. Watch how they start bringing up ancient history, twisting past events to paint themselves as the perpetual victim. They're masters at rewriting history to serve their narrative. The real kicker? They'll use your confrontation as proof of their victimhood. "See how they're treating me?" becomes their new rallying cry. They'll even start trauma dumping, sharing increasingly dramatic personal stories to justify their actions and gain sympathy from others. As Seneca wrote, "The truth can wait, for it does not lose its power to convince through the delay." Stay grounded in facts, not emotional manipulation. Remember, playing the victim is a power move, not a sign of weakness. They're trying to flip the script and put you on the defensive. The Stoic approach? Maintain emotional distance. Observe their performance like a scientist studying a specimen. Their act loses power when you see it for what it is. Number 3, they escalate their behavior. When masks start slipping, these manipulators don't back down. They double down. It's like watching a cornered animal, but every move is calculated. They start taking bigger risks, making bolder moves. Why? Because they're betting you won't expect them to be so obvious. It's a psychological game of chicken. Their violations of boundaries become more frequent and more flagrant. They're testing your limits, seeing how much they can get away with now that subtlety is off the table. You'll notice them breaking small agreements more often, showing up late, forgetting commitments. Each incident designed to provoke a reaction from you. The Stoics taught us to expect this behavior. As Marcus Aurelius said, "The best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injury." Their escalation is actually a sign of desperation. They're losing control, and that terrifies them. Stay steady while they self-destruct. Remember, their behavior says everything about them and nothing about you. Let them exhaust themselves with their own drama. Document every escalation. Build your case quietly. The higher they escalate, the harder they fall. Number 4, they try to control the narrative. Here's where things get really interesting. Once they know you see through them, They become obsessed with controlling every piece of information about themselves. They'll start reaching out to mutual contacts first, telling their version of events before you can even speak. It's like they're writing a story where they're the misunderstood hero. Watch how they suddenly become active on social media, posting carefully crafted messages that subtly paint them in a positive light while hinting at unnamed, toxic people in their life. They'll create elaborate explanations for their past actions, often involving complex scenarios where they were actually trying to help you all along. The mental gymnastics are Olympic level. This is where Stoic wisdom becomes your shield. Epictetus reminds us, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. Their desperate need to control the narrative reveals their greatest fear, the truth. Let them talk, let them post, let them exhaust themselves trying to maintain their illusion. Every lie they tell creates another crack in their facade. The truth doesn't need elaborate explanations or constant defense. Stay focused on reality, not their fictional narrative. As Marcus Aurelius said, everything we hear is an opinion, not a fact. Everything we see is a perspective, not the truth. Number 5. They recruit flying monkeys. This is the tactic that even Marcus Aurelius faced in his court. When manipulators feel exposed, they create an army of unwitting allies, people who don't realize they're being used as weapons. They'll suddenly become incredibly generous with certain people, creating a sense of obligation. These new best friends become their defenders without even realizing they're being manipulated. Watch how they start organizing group activities, but only with people they think they can influence. They're building their own echo chamber, their personal army. The most dangerous part? These flying monkeys often truly believe they're helping someone in need. They've bought into the manipulator's story completely. Here's where Marcus Aurelius's wisdom shines. The best way to avenge yourself is to not be like that. Don't create your own army. Don't fight fire with fire. Instead, maintain your dignity. Let your consistent behavior speak for itself. The flying monkeys eventually see through the manipulation when the manipulator inevitably turns on them too. Remember, these people are victims too, even if they're currently working against you. Show them compassion while maintaining your boundaries. Stay focused on your path. As Epictetus taught, don't explain your philosophy, embody it. Number 6. They launch preemptive strikes. Now we're getting into their desperate moves. When manipulators feel cornered, they often try to discredit you before you can expose them. They might suddenly start warning others about potential false accusations coming their way. It's a twisted form of insurance. If you speak up later, they've already planted seeds of doubt. They'll create situations where they can claim you're unstable or unreliable. Every interaction becomes an opportunity for them to gather evidence against you. Watch how they start documenting everything, taking things out of context, and building their case against you, all while claiming they're the ones being targeted. The Stoic philosopher Cleanthes would say this is the perfect time to practice virtue. Your character is your best defense. Let them throw their punches. Each preemptive strike reveals their fear of the truth coming out. Their actions prove your point better than your words ever could. Focus on maintaining your integrity. As Seneca said, time discovers truth. Their elaborate defenses will eventually crumble. Stay steady in your truth. Document everything, but don't let their games distract you from living your life with purpose. Number 7, they try to force a reaction. This is their final, most desperate move. When all else fails, they'll do anything to make you lose your cool and prove their narrative about you. They'll push every button they've discovered about you. They know your triggers, your vulnerabilities, and they'll use them all without mercy. Watch how they alternate between extreme kindness and subtle digs, trying to keep you off balance. They're looking for any emotional reaction they can use against you. They might even create public confrontations, hoping you'll snap and prove their point about you being unstable or aggressive. This is where Stoic practice becomes your superpower. As Epictetus taught, any person capable of angering you becomes your master. Remember, their need for a reaction is their weakness, not yours. Every time you stay calm, you win. Every time you respond with dignity, you expose their game. Your emotional mastery is your victory. Let them exhaust themselves trying to get a rise out of you while you maintain your peace. Stay anchored in Stoic wisdom. The best revenge is not to be like your enemy. Your calm demeanor will be their greatest punishment. The power to stop these manipulation tactics isn't in confrontation, it's in understanding. When you know their playbook, their moves become predictable, even boring. But here's the real secret. The best defense against evil people isn't about fighting back. It's about becoming so mentally strong that their tactics bounce right off you. Think about it. Every tactic we've covered today relies on one thing: your reaction. Take that away, and what power do they really have? None. This is why the Stoics were absolute champions at dealing with toxic people. They understood that true power lies in controlling your own mind, not other people's actions. So what's your next move? Start building your mental fortress. Practice emotional discipline. Choose your reactions carefully. Remember to like this video if you found it helpful. Subscribe for more Stoic wisdom, and hit that notification bell to stay updated. Drop a comment below sharing your experiences with manipulators. Let's learn from each other. Stay strong, stay wise, and never let the manipulators win. This is your life, and you get to choose how you respond to their games.